Last week, I put some questions to our database, and we've had some fantastic replies. We're going to interview Ben Clay at Blueberry Markets and find out how Blueberry can help you as a Forex trader. Let's get into that and more right now. Hi, everybody. Andrew Mitchem here at the Forex Trading Coach with video and podcast number 479. We are very lucky today to be joined by Ben Clay, who's the Partners Manager over at Blueberry Markets. Welcome along, Ben. How are you?
Thank you. Very well, Andrew. Always a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me again.
Awesome. Well, just to recap, last week I sent an email out to our database asking for people to come through with a group of questions, knowing that I was going to interview you this week and to be able to put those questions to you. So thank you very much for helping out with these questions that we have to ask you. So first one is from Steve. And Steve says he's never opened an account before. What is the process and how complicated is it to set one up?
Yep. Pretty straightforward. The application itself takes 3 to 4 minutes to complete on our website. And then you just need to upload the ID documents that it will request, typically one government issued photo ID, and then a proof of address that was issued in the last 90 days. And you can upload all that in the portal. The account's typically open within a few hours or 24 hours or so.
Cool. So pretty straightforward, really. In terms of opening a demo, how's that, Ben?
That's basically the same. You would do that straight on our website. There's a section there that just says open a demo account. That's a lot faster. Obviously, You don't need to upload any ID documents, but there'll be 2 buttons on our website, open a demo account, open a live account, and you can follow the steps there. And you can get a demo account up and running within the client portal as well.
Okay, awesome. I hope that answers that one for you, Steve. We have a question here from Gadibo, and it's regarding funding the accounts. Like the specific question was about, can I fund on a MasterCard, like credit card, and fund and withdraw that way? Because in some countries that's possibly a little bit easier than going through a online banking system. Can you let us know what sort of different ways someone can fund and also withdraw?
Absolutely. So MasterCard and Visa is completely fine. That's probably the most common deposit method and withdrawal method we see. Typically, when you're using a MasterCard or Visa to deposit, you would fund the initial amount with Visa or MasterCard and then withdraw that same amount back to the Visa or MasterCard. Okay. And then any profits can typically be sent via bank wire. We also accept crypto deposits if you have a US dollar denominated account, as well as bank wire, Skrill, Nutella. We have PayPal for some countries. Here in Australia, we have BPay and Polypay, as well as a few other additional methods as well.
Wow, so quite a few. Now, just to help out with that, if you put funds across on, let's say, MasterCard, do they have to come back via MasterCard? You can't like put funds across and start an account with MasterCard and then withdraw it to a PayPal account, or can you?
That's correct. Yeah, the funds typically have to be sent back to the same method of deposit, just for global anti-money laundering laws. Yeah, and this is usually pretty uniform across most brokers.
Yeah. No, I understand. Fair enough. And a similar kind of question. We've had a question here from Salman, who says he's in the past had issues with his bank. I'm not sure where Salman lives, but in terms of being able to put deposits through to a broker and the bank having potential issues with that. Can you elaborate on that?
That's an interesting one. Typically, the bank might reach out to the clients if they have made a deposit to check if they do want to make the transfer. It's good and bad. Good and bad, I guess you could say. Good in the sense that they are usually just looking out to protect you, to make sure that you are sending funds to a reputable company. So obviously always make sure that you are sending funds to a broker that's regulated and has a decent reputation and has been around for a little while, and funds are going to be held in a segregated accounts. But at the end of the day, they are your funds. So, it's not necessarily the bank's business what you're doing with those funds, and you should be able to send them wherever you like. But it is a protection thing at the end of the day that the banks will do. So sending to Blueberry Market shouldn't be an issue whatsoever, as we are regulated in multiple regions.
Yeah, no, cool. Perfect. Thank you for that. I hope that helps for you, Salman. Next question from Felix. Felix says, I'd like to know how much I can deposit to start with. So I suppose this is more a general, newbies question. Once they go from demo, they get into live. Maybe you could elaborate on account sizes, different account types possibly as well.
Yeah, sure. So as a beginner, I mean, start with $100. That's the minimum. Start with the minimum amount, especially if it is your very first live trade. If you're going from demo to live, there is a very big difference in psychology. It's, on the demo account, obviously there's zero risk. You're not concerned about the losses of trades, whereas when you start with $100, you don't even want to lose 10 cents on that account. So start small, start with the smallest lot sizes. Even with $100, you can do micro lots and still give yourself a bit of free margin to play with. So definitely start small while you're dipping your toes in, and then as you build your confidence up, you can start adding funds to the accounts. And we have two different account types here at Blueberry. We have our standard and our direct account. The standard account is just going to have our regular spreads with no commission when it comes to currencies. It's probably a good way to start because you don't have to worry about the commission charge. You're just looking at the spread, and as soon as you paid off that spread, you're in profit. Then the direct account goes from $1,000 or more is what you can start with. That carries a $7 per lot commission when you're talking about currencies, and we'll have a reduced spread. So basically our raw spread, direct what we get from our pricing providers.
Yeah, I mean, from my personal point of view, I think that once you've been traded for a while, you should get onto I personally prefer the commission account once you know what you're doing, just because that nice tight spreads all the time. But so beginning, go the other way, just pay the spread, and possibly a little bit more experience, then go the commission route.
Exactly right. And it all comes down to preference as well at the end of the day, whatever you're comfortable with trading on. And unlike you, I prefer the direct account at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, fair enough. The nice thing is you have both. You've got both options. Yeah. Question here from Scott. And Scott says that he would like to have a demo account based in New Zealand dollars. I'm guessing he lives here in New Zealand, but he didn't find that available. Is that something that you could set up if people have a request for different types of demo or even possibly live account denominations?
Absolutely. We do have Kiwi dollar based live accounts, but Scott, I'll get that set up today for you. So you can have Kiwi dollar accounts on MT4 or MT5. I'll make sure that's done today. Awesome.
And that's why I love working with you guys, because you make things happen. It's fantastic. It's really good. You wouldn't find many brokers do that. Tim asks, are you looking at adding more markets to your MT4 or MT5 platforms? So either, I'm guessing, more potentially Forex pairs or others, cryptos, commodities, indices?
Yeah, absolutely. We're always looking to build out our product range. We're going to have some relatively large changes coming in the next couple of months, which we'll keep all our clients posted about. But as a sneak peek, there's going to be a lot more individual shares available, hundreds more. So we'll be letting everyone know about that. That's, we're very, very excited about that. But as I said, we're always looking to do what our clients are looking for. So if there's any particular products that you're looking for, reach out to us and we'll look to see what we can do to have it added.
See if we can get them added. Is there any difference between the MT4 and MT5 platform in terms of, is it now easier to add more markets to MT5?
Yeah, so MT5 typically has the ability to have a lot larger range of products, where MT4 is still relatively limited. It has gotten a bit better, but MT5 is always going to be the platform that's going to have a much broader range of products.
Yeah, no, cool. And the last question here, this comes from Meg. Meg says, how secure are my funds with Blueberry Markets if I don't live in Australia?
Great question. That's one that you should ask any broker you're trading with, absolutely. All our funds are held here in Australia in segregated accounts in either Commonwealth bank accounts or National Australia bank accounts. So they're two of the big four banks here in Australia. So no matter where you're based in the world, that's where your funds are held at the moment, and always segregated away from company operating funds. So in other words, Blueberry can't touch those funds. If anything were to happen to us, the client funds stay segregated away from company operating day to day.
Yeah, that's massively important because on a personal level, I'm still waiting on funds from another broker that happened about probably 3 years ago, and we're still only 50% back. So having that segregation is massive.
It also goes back to always my point about trading with regulated brokers as well, that, the fact that we have regulation here in Australia means that there's very strict guidelines that we have to abide by.
Yeah, no, awesome. That's fantastic. Ben, let's cover the questions that have come through. How would someone find you, contact you? What's the next step if someone's either thinking of starting Forex for the first time or switching from an existing broker?
Yeah, awesome question. So blueberrymarkets.com is the easiest place to come find us. Andrew, you can post my email in the description
Yes.
of the podcast. Anyone feel free to reach out directly to me. I'm always available. I work very, very hard to make sure that my clients are satisfied, as does everyone here in our team. We have 24/7 live chat, and that's on weekends, with targets for every single chat to be answered within 30 seconds.
Wow.
So, reach out to us, ask us questions. We're always here.
Awesome. Ben, I can vouch for that because I know every time I email you, I always get an answer like really, really quick. And it's fantastic to see that it's hugely dedicated service. So it definitely helps, it helps with everybody's trust and credibility. And like I've been with you guys pretty sure since the beginning, or very close to it, and always recommend you guys because I know that the feedback that I get from my clients who go with you is always exceptional. So thanks for your time today on this video and podcast. As mentioned, I will put a link through to Blueberry Markets, and I'll put Ben's personal Blueberry email address on the link and description as well. So thank you, Ben, and look forward to catching up with you another time.
Thanks very much, Andrew. Always an absolute pleasure.